Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with a daily technical update. It is Friday the 2nd of February and we had a bit of a comeback in US equities yesterday, where we have the S&P 500 up with 1.25% in normal trading. It's still trading this in this rising channel here. There is divergence on the RSI, which indicate the uptrend is a bit stretched. So we are ripe for a correction, but it is waiting a little bit, it seems. And it's going to be interesting where we will open today. We had the Meta 15% up in the aftermarket after earnings. We have Apple down a little bit, about 2% also in the aftermarket after earnings, so they're a little bit disappointing there. And we have Amazon up quite a bit, 5-6% I think it was, also in the aftermarket. So still holding on to some equities. And it seems like this bearish engulfing that was forming, or that looked like it was forming on the weekly, might not materialize. Nasdaq 100 also bounced a little bit yesterday, 1.2%. We are unchanged pre-market, but with the Meta and with Amazon very strong in the aftermarket. Let's see where we will open, and it could move a little bit higher. So still holding on despite this divergence on the RSI. So maybe also this potential top and reversal pattern on the weekly chart of Nasdaq will be demolished. So let's see where we end tonight. The EuroStoxx50 here in Europe start to crawling back higher. If it takes out and closes above its previous peak here a few days ago, well, then this top and reversal indication here has been demolished, and we are to move higher. There's still divergence on the RSI, as you can see, but we are in a bullish sentiment, and the trend is your friend. So stick to it for now. We have DAX trying to have another go at the 17,000 possibly today. Let's see. The RSI is in a positive sentiment. It is above 60. So despite having divergence, well, then there is still some strength left. If it can close above 17,000, well, then there's potential to much higher level. We are talking 17,400, 500 level. Amsterdam market opening higher today, it's a little bit lower after open, but still a very strong move, and there should be potential to 829, which is 200% of this correction phase we had here. We're still showing some divergence here, but we are also in a strong uptrend for now. So I would say if it takes out the lows from yesterday at 816, well, then the picture could easily change. Belgium market is still in this falling channel here, but it's finding support at 36.09 level. So keep an eye on that one for further upside. You don't want to see break that level. We have a CAC 40, 7,553 is the level to keep hold of. We have this gap here that you don't want that to be closed unless you are bearish on CAC 40, which I'm not currently. Let's see here next couple of days. Can it actually get back above the previous peak? It needs to take out this bearish candle there for really further upside potential. And finally, SMI in Switzerland, it actually did form this top and reverse pattern. We have this doji star here, and it is a doji evening star pattern formation. We have divergence. So SMI definitely the weaker of them all. Euro dollar bounced off its 100 moving average yesterday, so it's still above this 50% correction here at 107.94. Strong support, as we mentioned before, 107.30. That should be observed if it takes out the lows from yesterday. I think we could be caught range bound, really. We have the 55 moving average kind of putting a lid over here. We're still in a negative sentiment, but with a slightly underlying positive undertone here, and especially this move yesterday will give a little bit of support, and we are still in the cloud. We haven't closed below, so still a little bit of strength left in euro dollar. cable, still range bound between 126.10 and 127.75. There's the levels to look out for. Dollar yen, I can't really make my mind up on dollar yen really, but we are in a positive sentiment with the RSI above 60, hasn't broken below 40, so we are still in a positive sentiment. There's no divergence indicating we could see another go at the previous peak here at 148.80 with some stronger resistance at 149.75. But it is sliding a little bit. However, we are still above the cloud. We're not in the cloud yet, so there's still some strength left. We have the 55 moving average. Despite declining, it does offer some support, and we have the 200 moving coming up there. So I think we will see dollar yen being a little bit indecisive around current levels between 146 and 147.5. Euro yen spiked just below 158.55 yesterday, but managed to close above, and I think we will see it moving a little bit higher here in the coming days. We are still in a positive sentiment. I can remove this one. Really, there's no divergence on the RSI. I think we'll see a move higher, and we could kind of say, okay, let's see if we can get a little bit of idea how far we can actually move. Well, we are looking at if it takes out 162.40, 45 level, well, then we are likely to see a move towards the 161.87 potential higher. And if we get up here, I think we will move to 163. Aussie yen also bouncing off its lower rising trend line, bouncing off key support at 95.80. Likely to resume uptrend. RSI still in the negatives and couldn't really get back below the 40 level. If it can get back off this little trend line here, I think we can remove it. It's obsolete now, but we are still above the cloud. It did manage to close below. So I'll come back there to Aussie yen. Also sterling yen bounced off the 38.2 retracement at 185 and a change. I think we will see another go at the previous peak here at 188 and a bit. Aussie dollar also bounced strongly, so this shoulder-like pattern, it's not the most beautiful one, could be in danger or being demolished if we have a close above 66.25. Well, then it is demolished, and then we are likely to see a move higher towards 67, possibly a little bit higher towards the key strong resistance here at 67.40 level. But this is 65.20. You should look out for the downside. Dollar index got hit hard yesterday, back to the 102.75 level, so also a little bit range bound between the 55 and the 200 moving average, really a little bit indecisive. RSI is in positive sentiment, but it is not convincing. So let's see what we can, if we can actually get up there. And if we check out yesterday's peak, well, then we are looking at 104.25. But for now, it looks a little bit to the weaker side. Gold had another go yesterday at the 2064.65 strong resistance up here, as you can see. Let's zoom in a little bit more, but was once again rejected. So right there it was rejected, and now again rejected. I want to see a close above. I think if we see another go at it, and if it does take out 2065, well, then I think we could see strong moves up towards the 121 level fairly easy. We are still above the cloud. RSI is still in a positive sentiment. If it does close back above 60, well, then I will look for higher levels on gold. Whereas silver is really lacking. I mean, a lot of volatility yesterday, but couldn't really make up its mind, and we're still in this range around 23, and I think that will continue for quite some time. I need some direction for this, so it's no reason to talk much more about it. We talked about copper yesterday, said it could test 382, and it does today. I think we will see it could still move a little bit lower towards 380. Can't really get away from this and really test the 400 level. So a little bit of weakness there still in copper. Further selling in crude oil. still in the cloud, but it was rejected up there as we talked about. If it does break back below and closes below the cloud, well then we are back here in the 70 and lower levels on WTI. Brent, really more or less the same picture. However, we do have a positive sentiment, so let's see if it starts moving around, if it can actually have another go at the very strong resistance here at 84.75, but for now it does look a little bit weak. Finally, as usual, the US 10-year yields dipped almost to touch the previous low here at 378, just what was it, 379, 380. Bouncing a little bit from that. We are in a negative sentiment, so it does indicate we could see lower levels. However, as you can see here on the actual Treasury future, it didn't close above 112.26, still below, having another go today. I think we could see a little bit of a setback before maybe another test, so those are levels to look out for. All right, that's all for today. There will be analysis out on Meta, on Amazon and gold later today, and also more in depth on the yen pairs. Have a nice day, have a nice weekend, and happy trading.